crazy story. Just like the others, how am I always involved? I can't explain it. Must be something in the air, or maybe it's just me. Is it me? Is it me? I can't explain. What else can I
Welcome back to Is It Me, you guys, where we spiral together. I'm your host, Michelle Forrester. We've got our recurring guest here still in the house. It's Josh Shapiro. And we've got Matthew Borgelli on the producer. What is it, on the ones and twos? Is what we used to call it? Yeah, on the ones and twos. And today's guest is a good friend of mine, one of my very favorite people. Give it up for Tom Murphy.
Hello. What a thunderous applause.
Yeah. I went into like hosting. I like switched to hosting. Oh my God. I feel like introducing people always like freaks me out, especially even when I'm hosting. There's like a moment right before I'm about to bring them on where I'm like, am I going to forget their name?
Oh, yeah.
And am I going to say something weird?
Yeah, and you got to throw in some
You can't like recover from that if you like
throw those big
stutter their name.
just slow adjectives to think of it.
Just
Yes.
mouth closer to the mic.
Got it.
There you, thanks, Matt. Slowly, every episode,
He's getting more confident.
he's getting more confident.
It's good.
He's getting more like, okay, guys, don't fuck around.
It's like we're gonna see like the first episode, nothing was recorded.
Nothing.
We're banging the whole time.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How you guys feeling?
Good. We're feeling good.
Fine.
Yeah.
Just been getting emotional all day.
We've been getting emotional, yeah.
Yeah.
True, yeah. Is that true?
We're getting deep. Yeah, no, not even.
We're getting deep. We're having deep combos. You love it. You love a deep combo.
It was like it got a little too deep last episode. I had to make a poop joke, and then got out of it for a little bit.
Oh my God.
Tight. So tight.
We love
What were
it.
some of the asshole cases that you guys... This is like, you guys ever been on Reddit where it's like, am I the asshole?
That's the inspiration for the show. Is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I love that subreddit, and I used to read it, and I used to like sometimes I would send it to my friends and be like, "What do you guys think?" Like, you know.
Yeah.
And so instances of assholehood.
What was any highlights? Any like, definitely you were the asshole?
No, I mean they were both pretty passive. I would say like there wasn't like the first one was just that like she mediates for her family and like plays God a little bit with like who like she would designate who was right in her family. Like anytime there was an argument, she would like inject herself and like it would be like people's court is what we said, and it would just she would just like
She's self-appointed judge?
yeah, she self-appointed herself the judge, and then would whatever. And then with Raji, it was just more that she got back from Paris and like was mad that her friends didn't want to hang out with her, and so she started just not hanging out, like just being like really cold to her friends.
Oh, what a dick.
But I think in both those cases, like I don't know that I would say that was like true assholedom. And then Josh's was that he was just dating a bunch of girls at the same time.
And fifth grade.
In fifth grade, and they confronted him.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. But it was like I dated all of them, and then they all got together and were like, "Hey, you can't do this."
It's just so dope.
That's like
Yeah,
the
good for
biggest
them,
flex
honestly.
of an intervention ever, you know?
Yeah.
All my biddies got together, told me I had to pick one.
Well, what to me was crazy is when he tells the story, it's like at the end they were like, you have to choose now. And then it just kind of became like The Bachelor for you. You were just like,
Kind
I
of,
choose
yeah.
you. And then
And it was like,
it's like imagine being those three other girls, they just like leave and they're like, okay, well, this didn't work out in my
I
favor.
hope you had some consolation prizes for them, like some coupons or something.
Yeah, Big Jew just ready to go. But no, they it was like I had asked out one after dating three, and then like they all got together and they were like, "This is not cool. He can't keep doing this." And they're like, "You got to pick one." So I just picked the one that I asked out last.
Yeah, I feel like I don't see any illegal moves there. You know, you date three, you ask it. I thought you were dating them at the same time. you know?
No, but it was like break up
Consecutive.
next day, break up next day.
yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
It's just
elementary
courteous.
school. Like
It was a
30
big
kids
week
in the
for
class.
Josh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Dude,
Early.
cooties out the ass. Nice.
Cooties. Oh my God.
We found the patient zero.
Were you
cooties.
were you a player in
No.
in elementary school?
No, I
you
was
were
never a
sweet,
player.
sweet boy.
I
weren't you?
would have loved to be a player, but I was too anxious.
Okay, well that's usually the first question I ask our guests. Like I say, do you lean anxiety or depression?
Fucking both, baby.
But which one's more? Because you always lean one more.
Probably anxiety, I guess. Yeah, but I feel like it's
Okay.
pretty split for me. Truthfully,
Like 50-50?
Yeah, because I mean, like they say, always.
They come together, but you usually, like, what I've noticed in people is they usually lean more one way than the other. Like, I lean depression. Like, I definitely feel anxiety, but, like, I'm 100% like a depresso girly.
I don't know. Like really anxious a lot, but I have my sad boy days where I just, the other day I found out you could play Settlers of Catan online.
Oh, God.
And I played 8 hours of it like the other day on a sunny day, so I have those.
On a sunny day.
See, that's how you like.
That's the darkest part of it all, isn't it?
That's how I know that like I'm full depression. Is that like a sunny day for me is the time to stay inside.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's sweaty out there. I don't want to be fucking I want to be inside in the dark, dude. Like,
Oh yeah, when I wake up and the world is like thunderstorms,
it's beautiful.
I'm like, this is my shit. Like I come alive because it's like it kind of gives me a reason to lean into the depression harder.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you
Gives
get
a write-off.
harder
You
depression.
can just chill.
Yeah.
It's like a sunny day is too much pressure.
Too much pressure.
We're
What
so
am I gonna do?
That's
I'm gonna
so
go for.
dumb.
I'm gonna have to take like 6 walks. Like I don't want to do that. Like I gotta make the most of the day. I hate people who say that. Recently, like my cousin and sister came to visit me in Toronto, and my cousin is definitely more anxious. And all day long, she was just like, "What are we doing with our day? Like we're wasting our day." And I was like, "We're literally living it right now. Like we're living it." Like I get too overwhelmed by like heavy schedules and like doing like 10 million things. It's just a lot.
Kayla, my girlfriend, she was like, she's new to Montreal, and like I kind of am too. And she's like, we have to like make use of the city we're in. Like we haven't been to a single museum or festival. And I was like, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Oh my God, I've been in Montreal for 27 years. There's literally tons of things I haven't done that I'll never do.
Nothing can replace Catan.
Yeah, no.
That too far? Too far?
Yeah, you're right. I should face that way. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, it's hard. It's like I'm trying to.
But no, definitely like even like on vacation, like what are we doing? Going to fucking Europe, and then we got to go look at churches for.
I'm
2
not going to
hours
see
each day.
another church ever.
Why don't we
again.
go to see fucking churches, dude?
Dude, I'm going to Italy. I'm stressed about it because it's going to be the busiest vacation I've ever done.
Yeah, fuck that.
No,
We're going to
no.
do like a new city every 2-3 days. And I'm like a little shook because traveling is already like all this anxiety and shit. It's, travel is the most. But I think it's going to be sick. We're going to be in Italy. Like it's going to be,
Italy's amazing.
yeah. So
But yeah, the stuff you have to do in Italy, it's just annoying, because like Italy is just so great. It's such a great place to chill. Italians are so lazy. So like go there and embrace the fucking culture.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
get some
love to do
pizza,
that.
fucking have an early coffee in the morning, sit down for
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm okay with that.
It's
Yeah.
great.
no, seriously, I love to do that.
Enjoy the air, dude.
I
like,
can't.
it's-
I can't do it when like I've traveled with people and they're like, hey, we're gonna go do this and we're gonna do this and we're gonna go see this church and then we're gonna go to this other church, and it's like all because a guidebooks told you to do it. And then I get there and I'm like, it was so shitty getting here and I don't really care. Like all the stained glasses look the same to me.
But it's like a lose-lose because if you don't do that shit, then you leave. You're like, oh, I didn't fucking do anything. And it's the same on a sunny day. Like, I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
I stay in on a sunny day. I'm like, I don't want to go out. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, I can't believe I didn't fucking go out, So,
Really, what do? You go out on a sunny day?
well,
Ride a bike?
I feel like now I've been
Like,
going
never understood people who just go on bike rides.
Now you want-
never.
I get it. I do get it.
Yeah?
I
I do
get it.
honestly. When I get on a bike, I love it. But
Yeah,
I
it's
would
fun.
never- I would never think
When you
about being like, let's go on a bike ride. Like I would never.
I mean, I'll tell you guys.
She would never.
I went to therapy. I'm progressing in my mental health. Now it's like going out is less of a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, So it's like, it's always the hardest to like get your ass out the door.
Yeah.
Usually by the time I get out there, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Keep it low stakes, bring a book, go to the park. Shouts out again to my girlfriend who's like, we're not going to stay inside the house the whole day. So I'm like, all right.
I get that.
Yeah,
You're
you
going
need
with the
some
girlfriend, you're hanging
Yeah.
out somewhere, it's quality time, it's nice. But just like when you said go to the park with a book, I was imagining alone. I was like, this guy's a psycho. I'm like, the fuck is
But I
that?
like
reading in the shade
I
and the
like
sun.
low stakes. I
Yeah.
like the idea of having low stakes because I get really like overwhelmed by like having to do like
What am I need a
it's
I
like
need a whole
like
thing.
like what am I gonna like I'm gonna like canoe 5 kilometers, like that's what I feel like I have to do, and then it's like and then I don't like doing that, so it's like I like the idea of like low stakes is like I just have to leave the house today, I can go get a coffee and I can sit with a book.
Exactly. Because like it's like all your homies are like, we need a big plan.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know about y'all, but that's the part where I'm like, oh yeah, like that's too much pressure. I spent all week making plans. Like I'm trying to chill. But if
Yeah.
you just exit the building
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then it's like half the battle's done.
And sometimes, like a big depression, like going on a walk was really big during COVID, or it was just big in general for your mental health. Like I feel like everyone's prescription for for
Dude, it
health is
works.
going on a walk.
It so works.
But there's also sometimes days where you go on the walk and it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I've gone on the walk and I'm like, I should have stayed inside. Like today was an inside day. I should have stayed inside. It didn't help. And that's okay. Like that's also accepting that. You know what I mean? So sometimes you go on a walk and you're like, why did I leave the house? So like, I was right. I should have stayed in.
I genuinely like need a reward. I need to like be going to get a snack that I like on the way to do something. Like if I'm just going out for something I need to do an errand or whatever, I can mentally just, I need to like, while I'm there, I'm gonna, even if it's just a fucking, a coffee. But like that coffee.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get to have that coffee always.
So, dude, wandering is hard. Yeah, wandering is hard for me.
Oh,
I'm not really a
I
wanderer.
think people like, okay, like Mike, when he goes on vacation, all the man wants to do is wander. Like he wants to walk everywhere. And I've never been on vacation with him, but this is just feedback I've heard from some of the people he's dated. He just wants to go and walk. And I think that's so insane. Like, where are you going?
No, I just want to find a place to settle. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to find a bar. I like this one. We sit here. We stay here.
Sit here. Yeah,
Like
we have a
this
great
restaurant,
time.
like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
just-
We're all unfortunately on the same page.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So, okay, but which one like ruins your day harder? A depression episode or an anxiety? That's usually how I think I would categorize like which one you lean towards. You might be a 50-50.
Probably I've had more like depression days than anxiety attacks. I haven't had too many like anxiety attacks. I have like a low level of continuous anxiety, but like depression days, you know, the 8-hour Catan days or whatever. I've had.
Yeah.
I've had a number
Okay.
of
So
those.
you lean depression. I think like when I speak to people who lean anxiety, it's like anxiety, like literally like they can't leave the house. Like they're like, and I used to feel that a few years ago where it was like your whole body just feels like, I mean, Bergelli, well, how would you describe it? He leans anxiety.
Like just always looking for everything wrong and everything in the future. Like, yo, in 4 years, how am I going to afford rent if I want to move to New York? Just like constantly.
Just dread. Yeah.
Fuck thing is though, I was talking to my therapist. I was like, dude, I'm always stressed out about the world, and she's like, yeah, world's pretty fucked. Everybody's stressed out about it. You know?
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah. All the therapists say that. They're just like, that's just existential dread. We're all
like
going
we got
through it.
the short end of the stick on this fucking generation, you know. So it's like, of course you feel like that because that's kind of a reality. If it was like 20 years ago and you said that shit, then it'd be like, calm, like chill out. It's the 80s, like, or not even. It's the 2000s. Like, have a good time, you know.
Here's Valium.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But now it's like, you know, shit sucks. I stopped going to therapy because my therapist just kept being like, it's a tough world, you know, like, better deal with it.
Damn.
No, like I genuinely believe that therapy is important, but I think that you need to go with a reason.
Yeah.
I like few times just because I thought that if you go and you just kind of fucking free flow and then you pick up on some shit it's like, no, you gotta like, I have this issue in my life, I want to fix this issue. You go there with a goal in mind, and then and it's like, I don't like, there needs to be some therapist that could just deal with a general life. Because sometimes you got to just go there and talk about your day and like get another perspective.
Yeah.
Get someone asking you a question on why'd you do that? Not like telling you, oh, did you do that because of this? Like kind of getting you to do it.
like asking you, like, why did you do it that way?
But I just find my experience with therapists is just kind of like that thing where it's just kind of like, unless you're like, I have this main issue, they're just kind of like, whatever. Yeah. It's just, they're just taking notes.
I feel like that's a bad therapist though. Like I feel like in my experience, I've been to a few good therapists. Feels like going to the dentist for your brain.
But didn't you go for,
That's
not
beautiful.
but like, didn't you go for specific reasons?
No, I just went because I didn't feel good.
Okay.
And I had diagnoses, but that's all I went with. I'm like, I don't want to feel this way anymore.
But that's
It's like
that's
something
important. No, but that's different. You went with, I feel this way. I don't want it to feel that way anymore.
But I just like, I wasn't like, I want to fix my relationship with my father. I was just like, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
But that's a
good,
specific
yeah.
thing too. Like you're like I'm going through something. I need and then they're like, okay, let's figure out why. If you're just like, I'm coming to therapy just to like do it as like a routine.
Yeah. I think some people though, I think I get what you're saying. I also get what you're saying though. Sometimes when you go to therapy though and you have nothing to work on is when you actually like untap like a lot of the deeper rooted issues. Cause a lot of the time when you're coming with like a particular issue, like it's actually just like most of the time we're always just distracting ourselves from like really what's like really going on underneath. So sometimes like those passive sessions where you're not really like there's no issue, like you didn't have a fight with your coworker, you're not like things with your partner is good, you know, you whatever, like you get to like a deeper level. That being said, though, there are people that I know that go to therapy still like weekly, and I'm like, how are you, like, you're still so fucked up. Like your therapist is like, no, but like it's not even like working on like the things that you like, they're just deluding you. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like the whole like issue with like Jonah Hill's therapist is like, was that a good therapist? Because I mean, that therapist was simply just taking his side and like giving.
I mean, like he got a fucking Netflix movie made on him, so he's doing a good job.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Man, that guy, dude, I saw that on Netflix. I was like, wow, what a wise guy. And then like a month
yeah.
later, it was like,
That's great.
But I think it was a different therapist that they were seeing, like it was a different therapist he was seeing for his like that relationship, because like in the text it was a girl, it was a female therapist. Either way, regardless, there are really bad therapists out there for sure.
yeah, that's part of the game. You got to find a good one. I left out pretty hard. Mine was good, but I was like, and Matt, I don't know how long you went, but I went like, and all the dudes I talked to, it's the same thing. First couple ones, you fucking bawl, you know?
Yeah, you cry your eyes out.
Because some they ask you some shit like I think mine was like, oh, you've been through a lot or some shit, you know? And I was like, I've been through you know? And then you just weep. And then like after that, you kind of get like diminishing returns in like the best way. But that happened to me. Like I kind of untangled some of the Christmas lights is how I describe it. And then after a while, I was like, okay, like obviously my brain is not perfect, but like I feel a lot better about
I mean, these Christmas lights
So,
still turn on,
I
you
think
know?
that actually makes a lot of sense what you just said, because I had that pre-therapy where like I did shrooms and cried for 4 hours. And that's not good for everyone, but like it worked out for me. I had a good perspective on shit once I did the shrooms.
Feeling things is good.
And then going to therapy, I already had the state of mind of like seeing both sides of it. And like while talking about a problem I have, answering the question kind of, you know what I mean? Like knowing it myself.
Like figuring it out yourself.
Yeah.
That's what they're there to do. I think therapists are like, a lot the reasons why people cry in therapy is because for a lot of people it's the first time where their feelings are validated. And like a therapist isn't there to like combat your feelings, because your feelings are always in flux. They'll always change. You'll feel one way about something, and then literally 10 minutes later you could feel different. They're not there to like argue like this is the feeling to feel. They're there to be like, okay, well, like how did we get here? And like how did like what's sometimes what you're feeling, there's something under it. Like anger, they always say, like anxiety, when you have anxiety, it's because you're feeling something and you can't feel it. It's like a mask for what you're feeling. And then like anger, a lot of time when you're feeling anger, it's masking another emotion. And so it's like, okay, you feel angry, great. Like I'm not going to debate whether you feel angry or not. Whereas like a lot of our like, I think conversations with maybe our parents, even our peers, our partners, is that like, I feel mad. And then people will be like, well, you shouldn't be mad right now. And it's like, well, you can't. But that person feels that way. Like it's like, you can't be upset. It's like, but I am upset. Right. And so the therapist, the baseline that they do is they go, okay, I'm upset. And they go, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's really hard. Sounds like what you're going through is difficult. And then just hearing that makes
Stop, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Dude, when I started going to therapy, my therapist was like, kind of along those lines. She was like, I don't have the answers to life. And I was kind of like, what? The fuck? Like, that's what I thought this was, you know? And she was like, nah. Like,
what am I doing
we're
here?
just going to talk it through. But then, which is good, you know? But then eventually it's just like, you have to kind of swallow some tough truths, which is like, you know, the world is pretty fucked and you got to like figure out how to deal with it. So.
Yeah. Do you have any like vices that you lean on?
Well, like probably like video games and TV are my biggest escapisms.
Okay.
Thank God, you know, I'm not like that into drugs or drinking, because probably do that. But yeah.
TV is like a big one. When I learned TV was an addiction, I was like, fuck.
I had to put away Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee, because I was just sinking hours into it. Because it's like when you get in a really like intense game, it takes up all your brain, so you don't have to think about anything. Which like for an anxious person is nice, because it's like you can like
day off,
turn, like you can put all that energy into like, you know, you give your monkey brain like a little toy so that you don't have to think about anything else. So I think that was the draw. But I started to sink too much time. I had to leave it at my parents' house.
That's so smart. That I remember when you told me you like shipped it to your parents' house. I was like,
I mailed it.
That's such a like high level of like discipline.
Thanks for looking at it positively and not, you've been sinking 20 fucking hours.
I feel like I would never like the equivalent I think of that would be to like hide weed and never buy weed. And like, I'm never gonna. I'm not doing that.
I
I'm
always,
buying weed.
I'm so impressed by people who like recognize an addiction and just stop immediately,
or try.
or try and like, do things immediately to nip it in the bud before it's even a problem sometimes. Cause like for me, it's like I'm just like no. Like I need to know how to like do this and make it work. This can't be a problem.
Me
dude.
too.
It's gotta be like,
Dude, me too.
I gotta make this okay.
One day I'm gonna find a way to smoke weed and wake up refreshed.
Exactly.
Like
Not to
one
be
day I'm
an
gonna find
enabler,
it.
but like I think you can do it. I think so.
It's like, but also
Thanks
like
for believing in me.
my entry to weed was like all my friends being like, I just started smoking weed. They had all been smoking weed. They're like, yeah, we don't get high anymore. We just do this. And like, and I was like, oh, that's what I want.
Like,
So, like,
to hang.
No, just to like be able to smoke weed and not be so stoned. But like, it affects you. There's no way around it affecting you.
when
That's
you
why
do
you
that-
consume it.
When you get high, are you like chill? Are
Yeah.
you like, this is so, I enjoy this so much?
It depends on sometimes the strain. I will say that, and I think also the longer, like there is some studies about like long-term use. Like it does, like I find I've been getting really paranoid on weed, and I never used to. And like that was something people would always be like, I get so paranoid, and I would be like, I don't get paranoid. Like you guys are crazy. Like, what?
Yeah,
And now
idiots.
I get super paranoid.
So for me, there's like 2 doses a day that are like my like self-medicating doses. There's the before leaving the house and there's the getting home. And both of those are difficult most of the time. Difficult in a way that I appreciate though. That like it helps afterwards.
Like the high is difficult?
he induces anxiety and then works through the anxiety, and then he can like.
I don't have
Do
enough
stuff.
anxiety. As a person,
I
I
really-
have like zero anxiety.
I wish I could
naturally.
call you crazy for doing that, but I've done that shit with weed too, where you're like, I'm going to smoke this weed
Yeah.
and I'm going to power through it.
No, and it's
There
when you
is-
get to the other side, if you
Yeah.
deal with it well, you get like, you come to terms with things easier. once
There's a
you get
mental
through it,
fortitude
you know?
to it too, because you're like, I just went
Yeah.
through some shit. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I do have to say, I have an insane ability to deal with stressful situations.
Yeah, same.
Like, it's certain things. I'm not
You're
going to say
better
everything,
than mine.
but certain things, that's why I'm able to get it done, because I can just deal with all the anxiety and stress or whatever, because like I just force myself to deal with it sometimes.
Yeah.
But then there's the doses where it's like, you know, I got a day off hanging out with my girlfriend. It's a fucking thunderstorm outside. We smoke some weed, get in bed, fucking got some snacks. Just beautiful. Great time. Love it so much.
That sounds
Those are
amazing.
like the recreational times, you know?
Right.
The other times it's really just pure.
Dude,
like-
it sounds like you're talking about weightlifting, but it's pot.
That's what he said. That's what he said last episode. He described it. He's like, it's like the gym, but for my brain. Or no, wait, Borgelli said that. It's like or someone said that. It's like, yeah, it's like the gym for his
Because
brain.
I've thought about this, but I don't, and like, do you think it works? Because I'm skeptical. I haven't done it on a regime, like you have like a regimen, but the couple times I did it, I was like, because I do this a lot with little things. I feel like it's a pretty common thing where it's like, you don't like something, you're going to put yourself there to see if you can grow and be better.
Yes,
you know?
for sure.
100%.
For sure, yeah.
But like, I'm not sure if even that, I know that works in some cases. For weed, I don't know if it works for me. And I don't know, like, if all the time when I do that, like, I don't know if it's correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like, I don't know, like,
What do you mean correct? By whose
Like,
the
standard?
thoughts that you're having and the decisions you make or stuff. Like,
it's like, yes, it's good to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. That's
Mhm.
great. But it's like, I think that sometimes for me, it can switch to like, you are using an personal growth as an excuse to
Indulge.
to put yourself in a shitty situation. Like instead of like I don't know, like if I have only dirty dishes, no clean dishes, and I'm like oh, like this is a crazy example, but I'm like, oh, like I'll clean this dish and then eat from it. It's like, oh, don't worry about that. You don't fucking need that. It's fine. Just eat from the dirty dish. Like it's fine. Like you don't,
Yeah,
you know, you're putting yourself in kind of a tough situation eating from a dirty dish
right.
because you're like, oh, I'll just power through it. But it's like, no, what you really should do is like
Is clean.
it and then eat from a clean
Yeah,
thing.
you should clean all of them.
Yeah. for
And
sure.
then eat from a
So that's what I mean though. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll power through this shit situation
Yeah.
and then I'll be tougher. But it's like, no.
But that's an indulgence. So I asked my therapist, I was like, what's the difference between self-care and like indulgence?
Yeah.
Because there is a fine line, right? Where we're like, because someone might say self-care is I'm going to stay with my girlfriend, I'm going to smoke a J, I'm going to have snacks, we're going to have like such quality time together, right? Someone might use that argument or whatever. But I think an indulgence is like, when it's like ultimately really like it's like the outcome is like, what are you gonna like? It's like later. It's like, yeah, you might eat from that dish, that dirty dish, like power through. But then the next meal's gonna come and like now you have to still deal with the dishes. Right. So I think it's like what it does for you in the long run. Whereas like self-care is like, I'm gonna do the dishes because then later I'm gonna feel better mentally also because there's less clutter and then I can eat from a clean dish.
Yeah.
Right. But then it's not fun. Like doing the dishes sucks.
Yeah. I've been thinking, like, have you heard that TikTok thing where it's like the ADHD tip of like put things away, not down?
Yes, put things away. And you have to like talk it out loud.
Yeah.
Helps.
Same.
Yeah. Like you literally have to be like, I'm taking this dish and I'm putting it away.
Yeah. I'm always like, I'll put something on a counter and then I'll be like, no, away, not down. But like that mentality has spread not just from like objects and their places, but like into habits.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'm going to leave the kitchen and all the dirty dishes. And I'm kind of like, no, away, not down. And I go and fucking clean the dishes.
Yeah.
Away.
And now if I have the same thing where if I feel like I don't want to do it, you know, like you're like, you almost like your inner child or whatever, like someone being like, I don't want that feeling of like, I don't want to. I just do it now. Because I'm like, I'm going to sit in the I don't want to do it for like 10 more minutes. Yeah. Bitch, you could have done it in 10 minutes. So just do it. So just do it.
All my opinions and takes on this are wrong. And I know
watching Josh's face as we're talking.
Yeah. I'm just like, you guys are right. Like, that's healthy and that's good. And the way that I go about things is just so wrong, dude. Like, it's just, and I know it's wrong. And I would never tell anyone that they should do this. Right. It's what I do for myself. The period in my life where I always cleaned everything. I worked out religiously. I ate healthy. I fucking did, my schoolwork. I did everything.
Yeah.
Right.
I had no mojo.
Right.
I lost all my fucking mojo.
Wait, like you weren't horny or like you had no personality?
Personality was not the same.
Okay.
Horny, fucking, I'm all, dude. What are you talking about? What do you mean I'm working out, dog? Then I went in the other direction where I completely stopped doing everything and I slowly regained my mojo. And it's a constant thing with my girlfriend and I. We're like, it's part of growing up. I am most comfortable in not dirty, not poop on the walls, but clutter.
Okay.
I'm comfortable in clutter. And the way you guys are saying, don't put down, put away.
Yeah.
When I put down, it's away.
No, I gotta go.
I go live my life.
I gotta go.
When I put it down, I go, that's where it goes. And when I'm looking for it, my brain remembers it was there. And but the second there's an outlier in the situation, someone or another person who needs to live in that world.
Yeah.
So now
you're just colonizing your apartment though. You're like,
exactly.
I'm putting this down. It lives here now. Forever.
And then living with another person now, it doesn't work like that.
No.
So I've had to grow on that.
Yeah.
But it's not
I had to grow on that too.
I'm not thinking about it. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's together, and it's not my focus. So
together.
Dude, I'm a eat a meal and then let's watch a movie and then clean up. My girlfriend is like, let's clean up right after the meal.
Insanity.
Fucking sucks, but it's way better. But
it's better for future you. And I think that's what self-care is it's not just about what's good for you now. Yeah. It's what's good for you, what's good for Tom in 3 hours. And amount of times I wake up in the morning and I'm like, this bitch did not clean up.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck that bitch. She did not think of me.
Fuck that
she really didn't think of me. No, she didn't clean up.
But also
separate myself.
How much easier is it to wash dishes when they're fresh? Right? Nothing.
So much easier.
That's a great analogy.
Dude,
it's
just get it done. It's clean, perfect.
And it's all crusty later and sharp. And hurt your hands.
If you leave eggs, I've had, if you leave eggs.
Let me break down the sharpness of foods based on
throw
age.
I've lost pans to eggs, unwashed eggs.
Oh, do you guys have the waste guilt?
Wait, what's that look?
Yeah.
One time I had a fucking eaten turkey leg in my room for 6 months. I get the throwing shit out over.
Oh, like a carcass?
No, I ate the turkey leg.
Okay.
And then it was in a Tupperware and I just put the bone in the Tupperware and then I put the Tupperware on the radiator.
Gave it a new home.
It was summer.
Gave it a new home.
Gave it a new home. And then like one
Bro,
day
did you
someone
make
was
like
in my
chicken
room.
broth? It was on the radiator for fucking 6 months.
Yeah, it turns into a gourmet.
Bone broth.
Dude.
Fucking-
Somebody walked in my room. Is that
Sell
a
that.
turkey leg? And I was like, yeah, it's a turkey
I
leg.
feel like it started out that way. We don't know what the fuck
it was
is
a turkey leg. Was it like covered in like moss?
Big. No, because it was like
Mold.
I just sucked that fucking leg.
I have so many questions. Like, where did you get it this turkey leg?
My nana.
Okay.
Send me some turkey home.
You know, where you get food or Nana. You know?
I'm not making a turkey, dude. Nanas make turkeys.
What's a grocery store, dog?
Well, no. What? Have any of you ever cooked a turkey just like cuz?
No, but I cooked a lot of roast chickens. That was
Yeah.
my go-to.
Yeah, you
But
do
it was a
roast
turkey.
chickens. Yeah.
But,
I
like-
don't know. I don't know how to cook poultry. I'm just like for the most of the time I
What,
buy
you
it.
chopping up whole cows? What do you mean you don't know poultry?
No, I'm not
Pig
really.
roast.
I'm really not that good at cooking meat, and I know it's not difficult to cook,
Yeah.
but I'm not good at
Are you-
it,
are
and
you
it freaks
veggie
me
now?
out.
Is that-
No, I'm not at all. I just, chicken.
fuck that.
Chicken freaks me out. If I'm
Yeah, it's
being
pretty gnarly.
honest.
Yeah.
So like I
And
do.
then if you cook it to the point you're comfortable, it's not good anymore.
No, I get really like So I'll buy I do a lot of like chicken, like pre-cooked chicken,
What that? There's no
and then I do a lot of
This is a safe space.
and I do a lot of ground. Yeah, it's the same space he was eating a turkey leg in his fucking bedroom. It's the same as me as ever.
But also, I do have to say that point in my life was the most degenerate I ever was in like cleanliness.
The only time I've ever seen anyone eat a turkey leg whole is at Walt Disney World.
It wasn't that big though. It was like a
Okay.
small,
It's a small turkey leg.
small turkey leg. Good turkey leg.
You know, it'd be sick. It would have been sick if we could, from all of our lives, compare like biggest, best mold collection that we generated. You know,
My
That's a
locker
pretty
was pretty
gnarly
bad.
one.
My locker was pretty bad in high school.
what did you have? Like an old yogurt cup or something?
Something was in there.
Oh, dog.
And then like they got to the point where like you don't even want to go in, and then I just abandoned the locker.
Dude, it's The Last of Us.
Yeah, The Last of Us, exactly.
I look at
But-
fruit flies a lot in my locker. Everyone next to me hated me.
Oh yeah, me. Oh, Borgelli, me too, me too. They were like, I feel like if they could have switched, they would have. Like there was odor.
Oh, you got so nasty. Damn.
Yeah, and it's not cute.
No, it's not.
When I was in kindergarten, my dad would send me a tuna sandwich.
You had a
every
wild
day.
elementary school life, eh? Fucking
Yeah.
bitches, dirty lockers in kindergarten. You were like popping off.
Turkey legs, tuna sandwich.
go.
What was the tuna? Wait, your dad said he used tuna sandwich every day.
I didn't want a tuna sandwich, so I just throw it in the locker and then just go to the office and be like, my parents didn't send me lunch today. Can I have a coupon to go get a hot meal? Because they had like the cap. And I would just every day just get a coupon. to
Oh
just-
my God! Did CPS get called on your parents? Or what?
Dude, like not
And
like
the
nobody ever
lady
said
didn't
anything.
care. They didn't care that every day you were like they forgot.
When I was in first grade, after I got a paper from the office, like you owe $1,000 or something like that.
What?
And like I just threw that out. I don't know what happened from it. I don't know if my parents ever had to pay for it because it was like $3 something a day.
So, what kind of crazy, insane person gives a 7-year-old a bill? Like, take this bill
Oh,
home.
give it to your parents. You know, it was like a letter, and I never gave my parents a letter without opening it first. Are you crazy?
Oh my
You're gonna talk shit about me, give it in a sealed envelope, and I'm gonna hand it off. I want to know what you're talking shit about. I'm not allowing
I
this
don't
to
think
get
I could
through.
read in grade 1. I would just.
I was a serious rule follower.
I
Still
was.
kind of
Me too. Me too.
would always.
It's the Catholic upbringing.
Yeah, it's the Catholic upbringing.
No. I love breaking rules. I
wish I broke more. rules.
I don't
Me too.
respect arbitrary rules. Like I don't
Now I don't.
respect rules that like
Yeah.
don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't make sense to me, like I'm gonna do what I want to do. And like bad times.
I wish I had rebelled more, because then I like, I don't know if you had this phase, but then I like created rebellion in my early 20s. Like I was just like rebelling on like when there was no like I was sneaking out of my house at like 21 years old. And it's like, bro, my dad would have been like, just leave. Like you can go through the front door. But I was like sneaking out the back to like meet a guy, because I was like recreating like situations that like I didn't get to have in high school
I hear you.
and elementary school, because I was such a rule follower.
Yeah, but I feel like the fallout of my rule following is like things I hate and all these
Yes.
irrational like offenses. You know,
Yeah.
I have the whole thing where I'm like I get really pissed off about like sidewalk etiquette
Okay.
because it's like in my mind, I like to walk on the right side of, it's like a road, like a car road. Everybody walks on the right, and then it's easy. And if people don't follow that, or they like come into my lane, I get so pissed off.
Do you walk on the left side if you're in the UK?
I mean, yeah, I would.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know. That's a good question. But like, if people break my imaginary rules, which are like more rules,
Yeah.
I'm like at my limit.
And so you just added more rules into life.
Because it's like, I'm used to all the like...
The rules.
That's what my therapist said. She said, it feels like, you know, you think that people are like coming into your space, you know? And it's like, I don't know if it's related 100%, but...
I feel like that's also like, it's like, if it helps, like the way you said your therapist is like, I don't have the answers to life or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if you believe rules are important and you follow these rules, it almost feels like that explains life, and life kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when a rule is broken, it shatters everything that you fucking, you know?
It sounds like you're building in structure in this unstructured
world.
And that's it. And you gotta kind of sometimes, and I literally, it's with anything, and it doesn't matter. It's not a bad thing. It's such a fucked up world, such a crazy thing that we're doing. You gotta get anything you can to keep you going. Anything that will help you cope with whatever's going on, use that thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah. Especially if it's weed.
Sure. Or Catan, too.
Catan, yeah. Okay, so let's do the are you the asshole? You have so many, you said. You have like a full list, so let's go through them.
Okay. I wrote them down.
I think you followed this assignment like to the T. I'm very excited. I think he
I
followed
was
the
issued
rules.
a rule. Yeah.
He followed the rules.
What was the rule?
It was prepare the asshole story.
Yeah. But he wrote
I
a
prepared
bunch. He wrote
8.
many.
8. Fuck yeah.
Well, I prepared 8 prompts. Okay. So the first one, these are like of varying intensity, but whatever. Okay. The first one is like, you know, kind of how you were like, you generate rebellion. I'm like very sensitive a lot of the time to like criticism, etc. Especially like when it comes to some of my male friends, because it's like, I'm not really like a bro, you know? I have bro tendencies, but I don't really subscribe to like the whole bro Joe Rogan culture. Like, that's not for me. And a lot of my homies are kind of like that, and they like to do the bro shit, and like, I don't really like it. So like, but I'm also like really sensitive to it. I'm trying to give you content.
Yeah. We love context.
So I was at Tremblant, partying with some friends of mine, just like at a bar, and somebody took a video of me and like I posted on Instagram, and then it was just like me like rocking out to some song, you know. And then one of my bro friends, who's like super bro, he responded. He just wrote like no, you know, to the story. Yeah.
Rude.
And I got offended because I was like, yeah, you don't really know how to take it. It is a bit of a like, what the
It's
fuck?
just negative for no reason.
Yeah. So that was my thoughts exactly. So I wrote, I wrote back. I'll pull it up later, but it was like, hey, I don't need that masculine negativity. Like, you want to do that shit with your other friends? Fine. Not with me. You know, I went like sanctimonious.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he was kind of like, okay, whatever. I was like, yeah, whatever, you know? And then like I met up with him a couple months later after I had like chilled out about it. And I was like, you know, after I like read that a couple times because I kind of freaked out for no reason. So like, my bad. And he was like, yeah, I almost like really doubled down and told you to get fucked. But then I thought like, you know, I better chill out. So
Yeah. But now do you feel like you were the asshole? Like you feel like the reaction was bigger than the crime?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, yeah, it was kind of
I feel like I relate to this so much. The same thing happened to me. And it was Mike. And I freaked out on Mike.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
some shit, yeah.
bro, fuck off with the negativity. Like, it's enough. Like, and I literally freaked out. And then I felt bad. And I had to message and be like, look, I'm not sorry for how I felt, but like, I maybe took it a little too far.
Exactly.
Too far.
That's basically what I said. So I feel like most of mine are going to have that story. But
what do you think?
I think that like just all talking to this episode, like you're a sensitive person, and I think that doing shit that way, like maybe it took a little too long for you to like reconnect with the homie and like patch it up, you know. But I just think that it's so much worse to be that person who's sensitive. Bro, tell me. And no.
I don't.
No. And instantly self-aware. So like you tell them stop it, but then you're instantly apologizing, being like, look, I know I'm sensitive, whatever. It's almost like a spiral and it makes it like 3 times worse. So it's more
It's
the
like, own it.
recognizing it like a day later or something. And like, I think that things like that, like
Or just
your
own
friend,
it.
your friend was an asshole too. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, you asshole an
that's it,
asshole.
own it. But like, then like come, like, you know, be aware of it quickly, but not too quick.
I'm a sensitive person too, though, and I think that like that, to me, the context of that video of like you jamming out, and it's like that's like maybe you in a vulnerable state.
Yeah,
and like,
that's weird.
and
That's
then,
like a
like,
weird
and
thing
then
to, you know what I mean?
And
It's
then your
not
friend
like-
posting that, and then you reposting it, and it's like to say.
I think you cheated here and you just wanted us to agree
And
your
just-
friend's an
and just-
asshole.
and just to be like your friend,
playing
just to be
chess.
like no, as in like no, that's like no is so powerful. Like I would have been like, now I feel embarrassed that I reposted.
That's why I reacted, because I was
Yeah.
like, don't make me feel embarrassed, basically.
Yeah.
Just, didn't articulate that.
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Well, I think your friend was an asshole.
So I
Whoever
talked to
he
him
is.
later, and he was saying no, like in disbelief, but
Oh. Well, that's on him, bro.
he was like, I can't believe, like, because he goes to Tremblant a lot, so he was around there, and he was like, it was at Caribou and Tremblant, like the classic bar.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, like, I can't believe you're here. But I'm like, let me get this story straight, for the next time, because I talked to him a while ago about this song. The details are foggy. But
Yeah.
we had a chat about it.
Sounds a
I'm
bit
like,
revisionist.
Oh,
though.
like even though if I
Like
feel
in
like
3 months to come up with an excuse. He's like, no, I meant no way. And you're like, fuck you, bro.
yeah, agree.
but no, like and that's it. And like maybe the way you went about it, or the way you said it. Like you didn't say exactly what you said, but it wasn't really about being masculine. It was more just being a dickhead, what
Yeah.
I mean? Just fucking like. But then that is you're chilling with the boys who you consider to be the masculine bros doing bro shit, and that's like already in your head going there.
Yeah.
You get that, and you're like, I knew this shit was gonna happen. Fuck this shit. Fuck these guys.
That's well said. And I think that was, for me, why I picked out, like, I think part of the sensitivity comes like insecurity, especially in that context. So it's like, for me, I'm like, I don't want to be really reactive anymore, because it kind of fucks me up,
Yeah.
So that's why maybe I was like, oh, I'm an asshole in this situation.
Yeah,
it was like
Yeah.
reactive,
Yeah, you apologized for like maybe the extent to which you reacted.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could have gone south too, right? I've had moments too where like the way I reacted with Mike made him react back, and then we went through like a whole fight, and then we
there you
like
go.
didn't talk for 3 days, and it's like if I had just been like, I really don't appreciate when you do this.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have gone in a different way.
And it's nice to, like, I don't want to be, because I feel like every time I'm reactive, it's kind of like, well, I don't know who I am. Because if I knew who I was and I was chill with who I was, then I wouldn't give a fuck about what people say about a video of me, like, rocking out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I take that,
And then you also wouldn't care about your reaction. Like I really, sometimes I admire people who like have a reaction and they like stick to it.
yeah, which
They're
is cool.
like, that was my reaction. Like I'll stand by it.
But you don't, like, if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to stand by a reaction, I don't want it to be one where I
Yeah.
was not in control.
Yes.
I want to have like a measured one where I'm like, nah, like with clear, like, thought, I say this, and yeah, like, I stand by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, cool. Next one. Let's go.
Next one,
that
baby.
one was good.
Okay, good one. All right.
I like these like tests. 'Cause-
Oh man, this one is embarrassing. Okay.
Sorry.
Look at the camera.
I got it. You're just gonna get my left ear.
This is all right. Okay. We're all in comedy. That's great.
Yep.
Fuck. Ladies are in comedy. So are people of color. And I was chatting to a person of both, and we were talking about JFL. And I was like, in the moment, we were talking about who's going to get it and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I think you have a good shot because you're a woman and a person of color. Stop laughing. No, it's fine. But it's like, in the moment, this is a true, like, oblivious. Because in the moment, I was like, you got a good shot. Like, this is going to be great for you.
Yeah, you were, yeah.
And then looking back, I thought immediately that person was like, well, I think also I'm a pretty good comic. And I was like, yeah, like, of course. I'm sorry,
and
like,
you were like, no,
no.
not at all. No,
And like, then immediately I was like, oh, like, fuck. fuck, I fucked up. And like also then, you know, you see a couple TikToks. I told my girlfriend, she was like, yeah, like that you're a fucking idiot. And I was like, yeah, you know, like
I think you just have verbal diarrhea. Like you just kind of say it, and that's not what you meant. You didn't
But
mean
also
they're a shitty comic.
No.
But it's also like we can't.
Well, maybe you
we
did. Who
can't
cares?
forget the fact that it is true.
It's
No.
partly true.
Yes, that there is.
It's not.
Actually, I've already put my foot in my mouth one time. Like,
I'm just saying that that was the only thing he considered in that comment.
Right.
That was the only thing you were considering, just because it popped into your head.
yeah.
Came up, popped into your head, came out, and that's what it is. Is more that like it was like thought speak. Even
Yeah.
text, like
No,
text answer.
For sure. And I yeah, it was I think the way you put it was good. It was like it was the only thing that I was considering where it's like I should have
Yeah.
you know,
There are
first
many other
is
factors as well.
you're a
but like,
talented comic, like you have a good shot, you know, and it doesn't hurt that there are opportunities for that, but you know, you're a comic, you're gonna
I bet you felt that way too. That you're like, yeah, of the women of color, you're also the one that I think is the funniest. So if they're looking for women of color, I bet it's going to be you.
of
Like
course.
that's like, you know,
Yeah. So that was that was tough to say on air.
I don't think that's really because I do have to say, I
But
think
you admitted to your like it's like you made a truly honest mistake. Like I can say that it's happened a lot where people have been like, no, you got that because you were a girl. Like I've had people say that, and it's like, great, that's okay. Then but then every girl would get it.
I'll say
You know what I
myself
mean?
a bit here.
Yeah.
Like saying it after the fact is especially rude. To like if somebody gets a spot,
Oh, yeah.
and they're like, oh yeah, like oh it's sick that you're a girl because you got that. That's especially rude. So I'll give myself a bit of a pass. I said it at least beforehand.
Yeah, and you recognize that you feel bad about it, and you didn't mean it in the way where it was like that person wouldn't have gotten it. You just
but also like
Swing
I
it for
think
you.
that in the moment, it also
okay.
comes from a place of like so many people
Oh,
like
well wishing, you know.
no, like not you specifically,
Oh.
but like people have had to hear those comments a lot, you know? So like most of the time it comes from like, well, fuck, I'm not going to get it. This is what they're looking for, you know?
right.
But we forget that like it might be easier to get it once, but it's not easy to continue getting it.
For sure.
You get it once
Yep.
and you suck and you're not meant to be there. You're not going to continue to be there.
No.
So, and it's almost like, yeah, like,
And it's like we look at it now where I think people are upset about it because it's happening maybe a bit more obviously than it used to. But what it used to be was we already have one of you. So we're not going to get another.
Exactly. We got one.
We already got one. You filled the check box. So we're actually not even looking for anyone else because then it was just then we're going to fill it with like whatever the rest of the people that we can, which is like a lot of men. That's it. So it's like, okay, great.
No. I do have to say, you have to take the other side too. Back then, most of the people in charge were white dudes.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to gravitate towards white dudes.
And they're also gonna, and also they're gonna book their friends. And that's the entertainment industry.
There you go. It's what it is.
That's
all
what it
industries.
is. That's what
It's a
most
whole-
industries.
all
And
It's a
most
whole-
industries are on the vibe check. It's
Yes.
like, and how do you get a vibe check if you don't meet that person?
Well, I was just talking about this on things I hate because it's like I was talking about. It's like we start out like I don't know about you guys. I definitely went through a phase where it's like, oh, that person got a spot. Oh fuck, like, I should have got this spot.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Jealousy
But then
is
it's like-
normal.
Yeah, but then you know you run a show, and you're like, dude, I just said this. Now Giggle Den cost me $700 to put on, right? $300 for comics, $300 for a band, $100 for a videographer. It's almost $1,000, and it's like you know days out of my life. Yeah, no shit. I'm gonna put on people who I enjoy being around. I'm not gonna put on some fucking idiot who like I have
No.
to talk to for a whole night. You know,
100%.
so it's like obviously they have to be funny too.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm gonna book my friends because like it's a lot of work.
It's also a different kind of, it's your show. It's you're hanging out. Your friends are coming to hang out at your fucking backyard. And
Yeah.
it's very different. It shouldn't be with people that you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then I do have to say, for me at the club, I will and continue to book people that I don't really enjoy being around if they're funny and they do be that, because I think it's a different situation. That like a club is like a club, and then
a
also
festival is different also.
festival industry. That stuff needs to be balanced, you know. It needs to be, and having people who like are too comfortable, like going with what they want and not considering other shit, is what ruins everything, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you make a great point of like, you're doing all the work. You're taking the financial risk. You're taking like all the stuff we were just talking about with Roger with this. You're creating space. And so, yeah, you get to decide.
You're throwing a party.
You get
Why
to
would you,
decide.
right? It's like
Well,
a
it's
comedy
also
show.
a really
kind of
good comedy show.
It is a
Josh,
really
you know,
great-
It's not just a party.
But isn't it a great fucking time that everyone
It is a
has?
great
You know what I
time.
mean?
It is a great time.
Why would you get people out there that you don't
It's a great
like?
show
You
and a
know,
great
like
time,
it's just, and the vibe will be different at that point. I bet that a comic who you're close with and you like and you guys fuck with each other, even if they're not as strong as maybe a comic who you're weird with, they'll do better on your show.
Yeah.
Because it's your show, your vibe, your people, your thing. So that works with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Gang, gang.
Thanks for saying that on air. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah, no
good.
sweat.
You got to own your shit. Sometimes you say things and make mistakes. And
Like Comfort Zone, for example.
yeah.
Shout out to all the people I don't like who want to get on Comfort Zone. I don't like you. It's not what Comfort Zone is, a show that's like a
That's
podcast.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I don't want to work with. I don't want you on that show. I don't like you. I
Yeah.
don't want to interview you. I don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean?
Well, there's
Yeah.
It's
also
not
a level of
it's our
trust.
fucking podcast. That's been
Yeah.
Comfort Zone is pretty much a podcast. So it's like that in that situation. I totally agree with you. What
There's
the
also a
fuck are we
level of
doing
trust
here?
with Comfort Zone
Not
too.
agreement.
You're putting like people in like uncomfortable situations. Like you don't want to put
100%.
people that like you don't trust that like are going to turn around and be like, actually take that down or like cause issues for you or vice versa.
Fully.
Whatever.
100%.
Yeah.
Vice versa, etc. is what I meant to say. My brain is-
Etc.
Yeah. Okay. You got more?
Yeah, I got more.
It is more.
Okay.
We're on a roll now. Have Tom write in every week.
Yeah. He's like the viewer. I was like, I'm an asshole here.
Yeah, because Josh was like, eventually you could have people write in, and I'm like, yeah, just get Tom.
I like that. Or a phone line would be cool, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come up with a bunch of aliases and you can just.
Do voice.
Hi, my name is
Jebediah. Well, I mean, this is part of the reactive thing. It's like, oh, so I work in tech and like I did some cool tech thing or like I found some like tech answer and I like posted it, whatever, in our like Slack to be like, dude, I figured out this problem, like pretty sick, right? And instead of like giving me daps, my superior was basically like, oh, like you fucked up here, here, and here, you know? And that pissed me off because it had kind of been an ongoing thing with him. And like, thankfully my work is like pretty chill.
Yeah.
So like we had like a chat about it and he just kept saying like, I just don't get what you're mad about. Like, I just don't get it. And I just kind of like saw more and more red. And eventually I was like, you fucking conceited asshole. I like fucking lost it on him.
Right.
Which like is kind of similar to like the homeboy thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he was being a dick, but I kind of let my emotions get away. And then I had to apologize, you know? So in terms of just like a more childish view, it's like if you want to win,
Yeah.
you got to stay chill. But in
Yeah.
terms of a more healthier view, it's like, you know, I don't want to lose my cool all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it also sounds like maybe like it was. That sucks. So like when you finish a project and like the only thing they have to say is something is like
Like you fucked
a
up.
few of the negative things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of my experience in tech was similar.
But it's like, you know, we squashed it and it led to good chats, but it's just, I mean, the thing with me, like, I don't know about y'all, but the thing with me is just try not to be reactive. I
Yeah.
just get so mad. Dude, my brain, like,
Well, it's like, yeah, in that situation, like you're almost taking it personally when like it's
Every
tech.
day.
It's tech. You know what I mean? You got to be, and I feel like tech, like if there are mistakes, I don't know what the project is. I don't know what the thing is. I feel like tech especially is such a specific thing
Yeah.
that you can't have shit be wrong.
No,
So
but
it's like, yeah, great that this is working, but like these are not good. So that's,
Yeah.
which you're right.
He
but
probably thought his job was just to be like, let's
Yeah.
just call out.
which
this
is
stuff that
exactly
didn't
what
work.
he said, right? And
Yeah.
you guys are right, but it's also like, dude, if we're doing this, like you can get to that part of the conversation
Yeah.
and also like give some daps.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a positive no. Like you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do,
yeah.
and also like I'm a big fan of a compliment sandwich. Like, you know what I mean?
So is
Like,
my sister, she loves
like
it.
thanks for doing the work. Great job doing the work. Here are the areas that needs we worked on.
Again, great job.
And great job.
A generic compliment where it's like, you're great. You fucked up here, here, and here. But remember, you're great.
Yeah. Always remember.
That's some entertainment industry shit.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We love you. You're wonderful, but you're canceled. But you're great, you know?
No, entertainment is like way more ambiguous. Like I feel like, or way more cutthroat. They might just be like, we do not like you.
Well, it's like funny, like, anyway, never mind.
Go on, go off.
No, I was just gonna, I don't wanna. It was more of an experience
shit.
talking to somebody who like will never say what they mean.
Oh.
and they'll just beat around the bush and like hope that
Yeah.
everybody gets it so they don't have to actually say it. And I
I hate that too. I'm in my program at school, like my master's right now. We're like 14 of us, and the first year we had like the first 2 months. Obviously, we're getting to know each other. Obviously, we don't really like know each other well enough, but we're reading each other's work, right? And for me, I kind of go into it, I guess maybe similar to your boss, with like this mindset of like we're here to grow and like we're here to get better. And so there's no like, we would submit work and we would read it, and then people would just be like, I love this, and it was like, great job, you did such, and it was just kind of like we were all like jerking each other off.
Dang.
And I finally had to be like we were out for drinks once, and I was like, okay, like we've done it. Like we all know that everyone's a good writer here. Like we got into this program for a reason. Like, can we respect each other and like give each other like critical, good advice? And like where I stand from, I'm like, if I respect you, I will give you my honest opinion.
Yep.
And if I don't respect you, I'll probably say nothing, or I'll say some like fluffy bullshit. to
We're
you.
a good set. Good
Yeah.
set. Tight. Good
Yeah.
set.
Yeah, tight, good set. I don't say good set to people
I know. Yeah.
because I'm like, fuck that. Like, unless you had a great set, I'm not gonna say it.
yeah.
But then when I say it, you know I mean it.
And just shout out to everyone who's ever told me I had a good set when I didn't. I hate you. I really like, that's why Hattie and I got so close. That's why I love fucking talking to Borgils about comedy, is we'll actually be on and like, we'll go have a good set and not talk about the good stuff. Why do we need to talk about the good stuff? It's good. Let's talk about what was not good in that set. And
Yeah.
next time, maybe have a fucking perfect set, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the only way to figure it out is to analyze it and get another perspective and get like an honest opinion, and not like go out of there like, sick, I crushed, that was great. Being like, oh, that was good, but there was that moment there where it wasn't really great, you know?
Yeah, well, because then you like I've also seen people get off stage and they know that they feel like it wasn't their best, and like then they're kind of flailing. You see them kind of flailing around like the people that surround them, and it's like they're flailing, and everyone's like, yeah, no, it was good, and then they're like, really, like, because then you're like gaslighting yourself. You're like, it wasn't a fucking good set, like, and I'm just crazy, like, am I just being? And it's like, and then you know, and so I'm always like, I'll be the person that's like, you seem nervous, like you seem nervous.
I'll be that guy. I'll be like, you fucking suck.
And like Mike is like that, like, and I value like Mike and Josh for the same reason. Like I'll come off stage and I'll know how I did based on like literally sometimes you a look, and Mike will just be like, Mike will literally be like, that was shit.
Can I say though, I think different people respond to criticism differently. I don't think in like, it's maybe a look, maybe you're like feeling it off of me. I feel like sometimes it shouldn't be just like, oh, this was bad. I don't think you would take that well. I think like,
Oh,
once
really?
we're
No, I would.
No, I think in my opinion, once we're talking about it,
Yeah.
to be like, this was
You
good.
wouldn't.
To just come out straight.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this was not good. Like, you know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah, but I know when I come up and you're like, that was a good fucking set. And
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
of
just
course.
like, good set. Like,
that's fair. But like also something, exactly. Some
like I
people-
know. And
it's
but I like it. And like that's
Some
what
specifics is not necessary.
Yeah, and like one time after everyone left, Josh was like, I gotta tell you, you gotta stop doing this fucking shit. And he told me exactly what he needed to, and I was like, I actually appreciated that so much.
In that
more.
moment, I felt
In
like
that
it was
moment,
like, you
because it's
know?
like, and that's why, and that's people like were kind of like, oh, like even like when you met me and Mike, you were like, Mike really like laces into you, and he did, and like we worked out some stuff, certain things he shouldn't have been lacing into me in. But I know that like when I have a set, and if like he'll tell me like the thing I'm insecure about, he'll be like, yeah, it wasn't so good. His delivery sometimes sucks, but he'll be like, it wasn't so good.
That's great when you're like, that wasn't good. Like, and you
Yeah.
need someone. To
You need
jump
someone
on
to validate it so that you're
Yes.
like, I'm not going crazy. Like,
No, yeah.
am I just like, am I so good that like, and everyone, like, cause that's how you feel, right? Everyone's like, that was a great set. And you're like, that wasn't a good set. And then a part of you goes, am I just like the shit that like, I'm so good that like, even when I do bad? And it's like, no, of course not. Like, that's not real. So then you're just like, people are just lying to me. Yeah. And that's a shitty feeling. And that's for me, is it me where I'm like, I don't know, like, no one's telling me the truth. My biggest fear is that everyone's like, what's that movie?
Don't worry, you fucking suck.
Yeah, what's that movie with Jim Carrey where like he
Oh.
lives in a world and like everyone's an actor?
The Truman
Truman
Show.
Show. That's like my biggest fucking fear, that like I'm just living this like there's something about me and no one's saying it.
Nobody tell her. Nobody tell her.
Matthew's like,
Nobody tell her.
oh shit. She's on it. She's on it.
I'm the same.
Yeah, you have that
think 'cause, like,
anxiety.
I think because, like, not to get too deep, but, like, my parents would never tell me what I did wrong and, like, analyze it 3 months later. Like, everyone knows that you're doing this fucking thing. So I just have this thing, like, I'm doing something
Yeah,
wrong all the
they would
time.
stop.
That's horrible.
Stockpiling is like such a hard boundary for me. Like it's not like that's not okay. You got to tell someone right away. Like stockpiling, like on because then it's like
I'm bad at that.
then you're like the fuck I did that and I didn't even realize.
I feel like you're somebody who needs to ask for criticism. Like you being given criticism when you're not ready for it is more detrimental than helpful to you. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't. I want to say yeah. I'm sensitive. So when people tell me shit,
Sensitive too.
it's like I feel like most of the time my reaction is like, get fucked. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like if you came to someone, you're like, "Fuck, what do you think? Like, what is this?"
Yeah,
then
then
you would take it well.
Yeah, I'm really coachable. Like
Okay.
when I'm
Yes.
ready for it, I'm very coachable. But yeah, if I don't want to hear it, then I'm like, yeah, eat a dick. I don't care about you. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. I'm
But-
similar that way too. Like I am incredibly coachable and oftentimes the things I'm scared of people saying when they finally say it to me, I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, okay, I could fix it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
great.
And you genuinely anything, not that I know, but like we see each other perform so much that any like thing that I've actually made a comment on, like the thing that when I was like, you got to stop doing this.
Yeah.
You genuinely do it.
Yeah,
It's
and it
crazy
makes,
to
and
see.
it makes me a better comic. And so I appreciate people who take the time to do that because saying good set it's just useless. It essentially is useless. Like, hey, okay.
But also, like, you don't, when someone's walking by in the bar, you know, and they had like an okay time, you're not going to be like, hey, that fucking sucked, you know, in 5 seconds.
I don't know. I think
like, you
some
don't have
comics
to-
need more self-awareness. So sometimes if they bombed, I'm like, you'll get them next time.
Oh, yeah, that's a good line.
I
That's a
don't
good
say anything. I'll do a silent fist bump.
Yeah, I do the silent fist bump.
Silent fist bump.
Yeah, that's a good
You don't
move.
have to say good set.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just be like,
Maybe a
I
nod,
saw that.
like, you know, yeah.
I watched you up there.
Because it's also like,
And sometimes the audience isn't giving them you enough love.
yeah,
And sometimes I'll genuinely be like, you just didn't get enough love.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the good set,
That's it.
I find it sometimes it's like, oh, you were in the trenches, now you're out. You know, not like you did a good job on stage, but like, you know,
That's
good
100%.
exercise.
You
Like,
did it. You worked. Good
Yeah,
workout.
yeah, you got the
100%.
rep, you
I like that.
survived, you're out of it, you did it.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying.
true. I
But then
feel like
there's
we
also,
should just
like-
all just be like, you did it.
yeah.
But then there's like people, I think that the higher up you get in stand up, that like at this point, like they have their career, they have their fucking money. If they get off stage and people aren't like, that was great. They're going to spiral so hard for so long that it's detrimental to them, you know?
Really?
Like I think they need
feel
that
like-
fake.
At
That
that,
is
I
shocking
feel like
and
at
not
a
shocking
certain
at the
level,
same
I feel like at a certain level, it should be the opposite. I feel like at a certain level,
agree.
when you find your like your humor, your shit, you and you have a good grasp of how you're performing,
Yeah.
it shouldn't fucking even matter
That's the
what anyone
stereotype.
says to you when you get off stage because you're gonna know. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
stereotype.
Short of like maybe like I think even the big comics, of course, they feel this way, and I think they have their people that they really rely on to be like straight up. You know what I mean? And you have those, and then everything else is just noise. I don't even listen to anything anyone says to me when I go on stage. I have people that I ask, and
That's what I was gonna, I know that I'm not where I want to be personally, comedically. So unless somebody gives me like a really like, you know, well articulated piece of feedback, most of the time it's like I either already, you know, not to sound arrogant, but I already knew that like that part didn't go well, or I'm just like, well, I have other shit to work on anyway, so you know, it's fine. I got a ways to go. Like I'm gonna,
yeah, it's part of you're still on the journey.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, are you got more?
I got tons more. Yeah.
All right, hit us.
Um.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, this one's kind of funny. When I was in high school, like a lady I went to school with, her mom was a teacher, and her mom was like a bitch of a teacher, you know. And like I was walking back with the girl and another girl, and who, by the way, like this other girl was just a sweetheart. So it just made what I was about to say like even worse. But basically, I don't know why I was just such a fucking idiot until like even a couple of years ago. But in high school it was especially bad. And I was walking and I just like, we were just talking about teachers and stuff. And I was like, wow, like your mom's a real bitch of a teacher, eh? Like right to the girl. And the other girl, the nice girl was like, yo, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh yeah, Like, my bad. So
How did she react?
she would just, she was like that.
But was she? What was the teacher like? What was she like?
She was shitty. She was a bitch, and everyone knew it. But it's like you don't have to go to a person's
Mom.
and be like, "Your mom fucking
Your mom
sucks."
sucks.
Like,
Yeah, but I get that.
Yeah.
I would have probably done that too.
yeah.
Like said
It's
it
like,
right to their face.
You don't get to say it to the teacher, and it's like you got their spawn there. and
Well, that
it's
was part
like,
of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But it
know
wasn't
she's
even
gonna go home
vindictive,
and she's
like-
gonna be like, "Mom."
The lady was nice. The daughter, she was really
For sure.
great,
No, but it's like, yeah, your mom's like horrible to me. Fuck your mom.
Yeah,
Not fuck
exactly.
you. Fuck your mom.
yeah, it was kind of like,
And you
a
probably
soapbox.
almost thought she would maybe relate too. Be like, what up, bitch?
I did think that,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
stupidly. I was like, oh, well, I'll like talk some shit, and then the other lady was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And I was like,
Yeah.
yep, that's fair.
No, that happens so often where like somebody's clearly a dickhead and like you say it to somebody who's close to them and you forget that like, no, they're going to take their side.
Yeah,
Like you forget,
I put my foot in my mouth. I've done that a few
Yeah.
times.
dude, that's actually
just, like,
another one on the
forgetting-
list. Same situation.
Forgetting that like people are friends with people I'm like maybe venting about. And
I did
like,
it to a boyfriend girlfriend.
Oops.
Yeah, talk shit about the boyfriend to the girlfriend because I thought they were gonna.
Oh,
break
I do
up,
that.
You know,
I do that all the time.
but I
I
was
talk
like,
so much shit about my friends' boyfriends to their face. I'm
This
like, your boyfriend sucks. I just want you to know he sucks.
but that's like girlfriend talk.
no, it's bad.
But that's like different.
That's
From a guy to a girlfriend?
Yeah. Like talking shit to the girlfriend about the boyfriend as a dude.
Yeah,
That's like dude, that's
yeah.
That's
But
what.
it was like,
now like
Wait,
come
wait.
on,
As
for
a
the
dude?
podcast.
As a dude? What do you, wait, I'm confused. What do you
go
mean?
on, go on. He's
Like-
gonna explain
okay.
it. I know where you're getting. I think.
For the podcast.
Yeah, but
No, that was the second question. If I like let's say Matthew has a problem with me.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps talking to my girlfriend about the problems about
Oh,
me.
no.
Like that. So that's what he was doing. He was talking shit about the boyfriend to the girlfriend. But low key, can I ask? It changed. And like, I don't know if I can even believe if it's an honest answer or not.
okay.
But I really hope. Was there any like potential intentions of like you kind of being into the chick post breakup?
No, so I'll give you the full context. So this was a girlfriend's friend of mine,
Okay.
and so we thought like I was getting the tea from my girlfriend about
Okay.
the situation, and all the tea that I was getting was like, this is done. It had just started. Like it was like a fling, not going to happen. That was my impression. I had the wrong impression. So I was going in like, oh, let's talk some shit about this goofy guy, like whatever. I was fucking hammered, I was like, and I was just wrong, and they were like actually dating, And so I went in.
That's
and I-
different.
I
That's
did
different.
like I pretended to be the guy, like I did a fake voice impression and like just like a fucking clown.
Johnny's dying.
And then like the next day, like we went out I was with her and my girlfriend, and she fucking like laid into me. She's like, oh, like your fucking place is a mess. Like she's got a fucking acid tongue, and she just destroyed me. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
So she got her licks in, like whatever.
Yeah.
All's well that ends well, But yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but like when there's like situations where the people are closer, that one it makes more sense to me because like
It wasn't like a
like
like I have
you
an
didn't know
issue with
the
him, and
dude
I was
really-
bitching.
yeah,
It was
no.
like, let's talk shit about this fucking asshole.
But
100%.
did she give you
Yeah.
permission to do that though? Like, didn't she open that door up for you? Like, she must have been, like, you knew all this stuff. You were doing an impression of this guy, so you knew
She opened it up.
she maybe had complained about
She
it.
opened it up for my girlfriend, not for me. Because I got it secondhand from my girlfriend.
Right.
I thought we were all like having a laugh.
Dude, Bordelli's dying over there. You okay?
That's so fun. Imagine you start dating this dude, then him drunk as fuck at a your fucking boyfriend fucking sucks and knows all this stuff. You don't know how the fuck he knows.
He's doing impressions of him. Yeah.
I don't know. I assume like when people are dating, like I assume that like the couple, and maybe this is like wrong, but I assume that the couple is like the same person. So I'm like, if I like when I tell my girlfriend something, I like assume that she's gonna tell her boyfriend,
Now
and
when
I'm
people-
like, no. Okay.
When people are about to tell me some shit, I go like, can I tell Caitlin? And if not, I'm like, then I don't. And I tell, unless it's about
great.
my girlfriend.
That's very
Then she
mature.
gets final trump card.
Yeah.
But if it's not about her, I go, can I tell? And then they go, no. And I go, okay. Well,
Just accept that they were going to talk about it. It's going to come up in pillow talk or some stuff and I some shit. And I'm just like, I just hope that for the most part, I'll be honest, most part, boyfriends usually mind their business.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You know,
About the
there
guys
was-
that my friends have dated, they mind their business.
There was
Like,
a bartender
yeah.
everybody hated.
Okay.
He was dating a waitress. and everyone would talk
Tales
shit
all this
about.
time.
It sounds like a fable. Once upon a time.
Everyone would talk shit about this dude to the girlfriend.
Oh.
And like she was just a non like confrontational person, so she just like would take it. But then like people would talk like get to the point where like they're talking shit to her, and she's like listening to them. Where like they're now becoming into her and thinking that like she's gonna break up, and it's just like no, like what do you get? Like people think
also,
they're like
like-
infiltrating a relationship, and they think
Yeah.
they're like.
This is kind of related to yet another one.
I love it, dude. Honestly, like this is so sick that you're actually coming up with good ones and being honest.
Bro,
like,
rule
it's
follower.
great.
I'll say I'm honest to a fault in a lot of cases. A rule follower.
But see, I prefer that. Like, I mean, in that situation, it sounds like this bartender was a fucking asshole.
He was horrible.
Yeah.
But
And that
can I
sounds
say
like-
that like she's also like not. She's not a bad person.
She's a dirty beast.
She's just she likes pieces of garbage. She likes bad people.
Yeah.
And also, I gotta say, it was fucking everybody knew he had a monster cock.
Nice.
Right.
Like gigantic cock, like unbelievable cock.
What, like 4 inches, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Four-
okay, I did.
four and a half.
yeah.
Um,
That's all I like.
so like also I do feel like she was the type of chick that a cock like that, she's not gonna let that go. You know what I mean? Like not every
Wrapped around
Were
her
people
fucking
talking
throat.
shit about him to him, and he was just dismissing it, and so
nobody
it
would
was like a
talk to
last ditch
him.
effort to be like, "Hey, let me tell like the girlfriend because she might fix it." I think that might have been it too, though. Like she might be able to fix it, or she might go home and
like I can fix him.
like everyone's like, okay, he's a fucking dirtbag. Let me talk to the girlfriend so that the girlfriend can maybe like tactfully, like when they're alone, be like, hey, all this shit,
but
like you're
that's-
being a dirtbag.
people also love to be like, even their girlfriend thinks they're an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
that's all they want.
That's all they
the
want.
girlfriend to
They want
agree.
opinion validation.
They just let one nod from her. You know what I mean? And she was probably like not even listening.
No,
she was
exactly,
thinking of the monster cock.
Exactly.
Or she was like, that she was.
got brain damage from that thing. She can't think anymore. Fuck. Her frontal lobe's all fucked up. She can't form ideas anymore. That's not a dick. It's a murder weapon. All right. How big was it? You always want to know.
What's monster?
Have you guys ever
thing?
seen
It
a
was
big
good.
dick
Yes.
in person? Well, yeah.
I've
No,
seen
fucking
it.
you.
never.
I've seen a few.
Now, look, this must be an exaggeration, but the comparison I got was 2 cans of Coke
Dang.
stacked.
And thickness-wise also?
So I assume that it was very thick. That was a part of it.
God.
And I doubt
Lord
that
of
was- you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think I'm getting the sign that we need to wrap up. I don't think it could have been that thick.
no. But maybe like,
A man can dream.
can it like cut
Yeah.
off the edges?
Yeah,
Like cut off the edges.
cut off the edges.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I just, somebody was talking about
Yeah.
it, and I was like how fucking
I've
big?
seen some of that.
And she was just like 2
We
cans
know.
of Coke.
Yeah.
That was just
All right.
Nice.
Thank
2
you
cans of Coke.
Thank you to our sponsor. And on that note, Tom, thank you so much. We have to wrap up. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks to
This is great.
Josh.
This is
Thanks to
fun.
Matt. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bang bang.
Love you guys. Bye.